Hi everyone, this is the weather hazard briefing for Friday, May 19th from the National Weather Service office here in Pocatello, Idaho. We have a couple more isolated showers and thunderstorms as we go through the day today, mainly, once again, up in the central mountains. We are going to still see some of that wildfire smoke continuing, but we will see some improvements as we go through the day today. So that actually kind of covers most of the key points for us. Temperatures are going to continue to warm up, especially as we get into today and the weekend. It'll be the warmest days, and then temperatures will cool slightly into early next week. That's going to come with some more widespread rain and thunderstorm chances returning to the area too. So here's a look at satellite this morning. Not a whole lot going on if you look over at eastern Idaho here. In fact, things are very quiet early this morning. I expect a few afternoon cumulus clouds to pop up, and again, some of those showers and thunderstorms mainly in through parts of the central mountains this afternoon. Talk a little bit more about those coming up. Our weather risk outlook grid looking very similar to how it's looked for most of the week, as we're kind of stuck in this pattern of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Very isolated, again, mainly in the central mountains today and tomorrow, although tomorrow will creep a little bit more into parts of the eastern highlands. Again, fairly isolated showers and thunderstorms at that. But then as we go late Sunday into Monday, our next system starts to move in. That'll bring the chances back for some more widespread activity. And of course, with these warmer temperatures and rain on snow that's left up in the higher elevations, we're going to continue to melt that snow and see our flooding risks continue for, well, basically the foreseeable future, but especially through the weekend and into early next week. Just wanted to remind you that we do have that air quality alert for areas up to, well, in parts of northeastern into north central Idaho. In fact, the air quality index currently for Idaho Falls to the north is listed as unhealthy for sensitive groups. That should improve as we go throughout the day today as some of that wildfire smoke starts to disperse a little bit more. But just a heads up, again, that means it can be unhealthy for young kids, any older adults, and anyone with heart or lung disease. So just a heads up there. And of course, we have all of our different flood advisory warnings and watch products that are still in effect. Here's a look at the smoke forecast as we go through the day today. Here we reset. You can see that does start to disperse, especially as we get into this afternoon and later this evening, once our winds shift and become a bit more southerly. We've been having these northerly winds, again, bringing in that smoke for us. So we'll clear a little bit of that out as we go throughout the day today. Our temperatures as we get into this afternoon, most of us in the mid and upper 70s through the Snake Plain, Magic Valley. You're probably going to make it back into the low, maybe even a few mid 80s. Again, for some of us, that smoke will kind of slow some of the warm up, but again, still expected to be plenty warm as we get into this afternoon. Winds won't be too much of an issue for us. Gusts up to about 15 miles per hour is all, so relatively light as far as our wind gusts are concerned. As we go into this afternoon, again, expecting a couple of isolated showers and storms, mainly through parts of the central mountains to pop up, and that'll continue into this evening and then start to back off as we go into sunset and beyond. Things will quiet down overnight once again. As far as this weekend, temperatures continue warming. By the time we get to Saturday afternoon, a lot more of us will be in the low to mid 80s for afternoon highs down here at the lower elevations through the Snake Plain, the Arco Desert area, and then into the Magic Valley again, where some of the warmest temperatures will be in the mid 80s. On Sunday, basically a repeat, but add a couple of degrees for most of us to our afternoon highs. More mid to upper 80s. And you get into some of the higher elevations, temperatures are going to be back in the mid and upper 70s. So yes, Sunday going to be quite the warm day for us. With that next system coming in Sunday into Monday, we will see our temperatures start to drop just a couple of degrees. That means more of us will see highs in the 70s versus the mid and upper 80s from the weekend. And then that trend, that very slight cooling trend, will continue into Tuesday. But again, most of us still seeing highs in the mid and upper 70s. So technically a few degrees above average for this time of the year. A quick look at some of our hydrographs. The Blackfoot River at the Blackfoot Reservoir near Henry continues to slowly drop, which is good. Still technically in minor flood stage, but We'll likely see this continue to drop slowly as we go through the weekend. The Bear River at the Idaho-Wyoming border, still in the minor flood stage and expected just to rise a little bit as we melt off a little bit more of that snow that is left down in that area as we go through this weekend. The Bigwood River at Hailey keeps brushing up against that moderate flood stage during its diurnal cycles, but is forecast to make it into the moderate flood stage and basically stay there once we get into this weekend, and then that will continue to slowly rise as we go into early next week. You can see that forecast here on this hydrograph. The Warm Springs Creek up near Ketchum, again, very similarly, just keeps brushing up against the minor flood stage during its diurnal cycles, and will likely make it into minor flood stage as we go through this weekend. Again, keep in mind up in the Sun Valley, Hailey area, where we're expected to see some of those isolated showers and storms, could likely add some extra moisture and water to these rivers and creeks, so just a heads up on that. You get under one of those thunderstorms, would not be too shocked to see a quick 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch in a couple of those. The Henry's Fork near Rexburg, also in the minor flood stage, and expected to stay there then as we go through this weekend and through most of next week as well. So we'll see a couple of those isolated showers and thunderstorms today, mainly confined into parts of the central mountains. Temperature is going to continue to warm up, especially as we go through this weekend. That's when they will be at their warmest, with a lot of us in the mid and upper 80s for afternoon highs. So we continue to see that snow melting and our flooding continue. Smoke from the wildfires up in Canada will continue today, but slowly decrease as we kind of go through the day and disperse a bit more, especially overnight into Saturday. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the forecast, of course, you can always send us an email, give us a phone call, or connect with us on social media. It's a great way to get a hold of us there. And, of course, the latest forecast information always available online, too. Have a great day.